mga ilang books na gusto kong pag-usapan natin kasi, well, yung iba dito super overdue na. When I was trying to work on that damn video, Wag na natin pag-usapan kasi maiinis lang ako. This is actually a great fantasy historical book. By the way, the author of this book is Binibining Mia. And let me tell you something. Do not buy this book. The only reason why I'm telling you not to buy the book is because this book is supposed to be part 1. Isang buong story to. As in, isang buong story. Walang cuts. Pero ito, this book is only up until chapter 8. Basahin nyo na lang siya sa Wattpad. Kasi, grabe. Tapos ito pa nakakainis kasi nung binasa ko to, doon siya naputol doon sa part na everything's gone to shit. Na parang, oh my God, how could you do this to me? Sobrang bitin. Save your money. Don't make the same mistake as I did. Don't buy this book. Just read it off from Wattpad kasi yung nasa Wattpad, mas kompleto pa yon. Basta, ang dami niyong mga libro na sinasabi niyo na bilihin ko. Here's the thing. Hindi ko naman na sila makita. So, ganito. Kung meron kayong mga extra copies dyan, ng kung ano mang libro na gusto niyong basahin ko from Binibining Mia, pakisend na lang po sa akin. Please, i-DM nyo na lang ako. Bigyan nyo ako ng free copy. I will do it. Gagawan ko ng sariling video to si Binibining Mia. Itong story na to, it starts during the peak or rather the beginning of the Second World War. Ewan ko kung makikita nyo dyan, pero ito, ayan, may mga airplanes dito. Tapos, may mga sumasabog. Yun yung sinasabi kong part. Nandito na. Ito yung chapter 8 mismo. Ito. The action's already starting by the time this book ends. When I was reading this on Wattpad, I was heartbroken. Masakit siya. Meron siyang kirot. And, oh my God. I say, this is one of those stories na if you want to relate to Filipino folklores, Filipino legends, yung mga ganyang klase ng story, itong Serene, meron siyang kaunting historical na parts ng story. As the story progresses, we will see what is actually happening during the Second World War. So, if you're a history buff or, you're into historical fiction, you should definitely try reading this book. And yes, ang language itong story ay pure Filipino, pure Tagalog. Meron lang siyang mga konting Japanese dito, but meron naman siyang translation kaagad. If you're expecting nga pala na this is historically accurate, it's not. I noticed some discrepancies. Actually, there's a lot of them. Pero kasi, what can you expect? This is a fantasy. Hindi naman talaga siya historical or non-fic. So, if you're going to read the story and then you're gonna be like, oh my God, mali siya. Hindi yan ang nangyari. I mean, historically, hindi yan ang tamang nangyari during the Second World War dito sa Philippines. You're right. Don't worry about it. Mas focus ng story yung fantasy aspect. Don't focus on the historical. Kasi parang ano lang talaga siya. Ginamit lang siyang another layer or another depth to make sure that the story has some tension. Could be also a problem. So, kasi nga war, hindi descriptive yung narration when it comes to the war aspect of the story. When you're reading the story doon sa Wattpad and you're already in chapters 9 onwards, dun mo mapapansin na, oh, that's war. The way the war was described in this book, in this story, sugar-coated na. Okay, pinapakita na may mga sumasabog, dinedescribe na yung kung paano sila nagkakagulo, yung mga nagsisigawan, ganon. Pero there's no full description of how vile and evil and destructive the chaotic, dark war can be for anyone. So do not expect that dito sa story na to kasi nga this is fantasy historical fiction. I would rate itong book na to itong book lang na to. I would rate this book a 0 star kasi nga binitin niya ako. Pero the story itself, I would rate the story at least 3 out of 5 stars. The way Binibining Mia wrote this dun sa Wattpad, it was invigorating. It was challenging for sure. I'm guessing siguro medyo mas, syempre, hindi ko naman alam kung kailan niya talaga itong sinulat, diba? Pero, ayun nga, I'm guessing mas bata pa siya nung sinusulat niya to. Tapos, madami pa kasi siya talagang, yung alam ko na Binibining Mia, by the time that I already had worked with her is not the same Binibining Mia na nagsulat nito, which is fine, which is great. Kasi ibig sabihin lang doon, nag-improve siya. And honestly, she needed the improvement when she was writing this. Because this was not it. So, ayun, yun lang masasabi ko. This, 0 star, pero yung story niya sa Wattpad, 3 stars. Now, let's talk about Oha, a story told in one eternal second by Krie R. Lopez. This is from the publisher Mil Flores, of course. So ito, kasama to sa mga freebies na binigay sa akin ng Mil Flores. Thank you, Mil Flores. Binasa ko siya this month kasi sobrang, syempre, it's thematic. When I say thematic, ito kasi, yung main character dito, si Mia, ano siya, bata siya, 15 years old siya, pero matagal na siyang patay. Actually, ngayon ko lang din naisip na the story happens in 1940s. Saka lang nag-occur sa akin na, wait, 1940s? That's also the start of the Second World War. Or rather, around that time. Diba? Parang katulad dito sa Serene. So, ang setup nitong story na to ay nandito sa Philippines. Particularly in Baguio. We see a lot of other stories ng mga tao, or rather yung mga living, na nami-meet niya throughout her eternal second. What do you mean eternal second, Ate Carla? Para sa kanya, our lives, habang pinapanood niya tayo at habang, ito nga, ninanarrate niya itong story na to, the way she explained it was, mas mabilis ang time when you're dead than when you're living. There's a certain pang in my heart when I was reading this. Her mindset about death, her mindset about what life is for her. Sometimes heartbreaking. There's a lot of grief going on. Pero kasi, if you actually think about it, lahat naman tayo mamamatay din. I know, gruesome, right? And this book tells something about that. About making time for what truly matters. Which is what? The people you love. The time you spend with them. The things you tell them. The things you do for them because you love them. Ikaw at ako, obviously, this is not fiction. This is real life. I think one of the strong messages na sinabi nitong story na to is, what are you gonna do with your life? Kasi it's so easy for you and me to get lost into this time. Kasi akala natin na matagal pa ang oras natin. Hopefully, matagal pa ang oras natin. I don't know. But that's the thing. We both don't know kung gaano na lang tayo katagal dito sa mundong to. Now, the real question is, what are you gonna do about it? Are you actually doing something that's worth your life, worth your time? Nasabi mo na ba dun sa mga taong mahal mo yung mga gusto mong sabihin? Kasi you never know eh. She's telling, or rather, this book is telling us, stop wasting your time. Do something. Say something. Make the first move. Don't wait for the perfect moment. Just do it now. Kasi your life, or rather everyone else, the world is gonna continue to move with or without you. How you use your time now is what matters. You're the main character of your own life. You're the main character of your own story. Stop wasting your time. I'm telling you, this is exactly one of those stories that you should read. Oh, and by the way, this is written by a Filipina. Also, this is her debut novel. Can we just acknowledge that na sobrang ganda ng debut novel niya? Ano pa yung mga stories na gusto niyang isulat? Kasi I want to read more from her. Ang ganda niya magsulat. Ang dami natin mga Filipino writers na ang gagaling natin magsulat. Naiinis ako kasi kailangan natin tangkilikin yung sarili natin mga local authors kasi sobrang ganda. Sobrang ganda yung magsulat. Sa totoo lang. Masakit! Masakit tayo magsulat na, alam niyo yung sakit, pero it's so good. It feels great. Ano daw? Put it on my morbid fascination with death, okay? I'm sorry, but it's just so good. At saka for me, parang seryosong nakaka-proud kapag nagbabasa ako ng mga gawa natin. And ganitong klase ng writing, ng storytelling, yung nababasa ko na parang, see, this is exactly why kaya natin makipagsabayan sa mga international authors, which we should, which is exactly what Mil Flores is doing. The next book that I'm going to show you, bakit nagloloko ang camera ko kung kailan ko to ipapakita? Ano ba? Ang Mga Kaibigan ni Mama Susan by Bob Ong. I am not afraid of this book because I know that this is fiction, but I hate itong itsura nitong nandito sa likod. So for the sake of this video, I am just going to cover this back with with my planner. Itong libro na to, binili ko to sa may Fully Book, sa may S. Maison, sa may Conrad, Pasay. Hindi talaga to dapat yung bibilihin kong libro, but I am still intrigued. So, dahil nabasa ko na yung libro, I'm thinking, maybe I should watch the film? I don't know. It's journal entries of a boy. Hindi ko nasasabihin yung names. Basta, hindi ko nasasabihin yung names, pero I'm just going to encourage you to read, if you want, to read the book. But it's definitely something that I think, for the sake of scares, di ba? For the sake of scares and the fun of it, syempre, this book, it is creepy. It is pretty scary. Not gonna lie. Merong mga times nung binabasa ko to parang, ooh, spooky. Pero, the things that were written here in Latin, by the way, I know Latin. We learned Latin from my dad. We were taught Latin prayers. Domine non sum dignus ut intre sub tectum meum, sit tantum dig verbo et sinibitur anima mea. Hello, Ateneo. If you know, you know. Yun yung favorite ko sabihin kasi wala lang, ang ganda niyang sabihin in words. Among other things, okay? Ayoko nang i-expound pa, pero Ate Carla knows Latin. Me and the rest of my family, we know Latin. It's just something we know. I know. It's weird. Here's the thing. Yung ibang parts dito, yung ibang mga Latin dito, it came from the Old Testament. Did you know that? So, meron siyang ganong aspect. Meron siyang parang religious aspect dito. Kasi we are dealing with, or rather, the MC dito sa story na to is dealing with some sort of demon in the story dito, sa family niya, particularly. Kasi nga yung, I don't know if you know this, Mangbabarang, tama ba? Witches sa province nila. Kasi umuwi siya doon sa lola niya. Ito ang take ko dito feeling ko, if this is some sort of, parang katulad nung movie na, ano yun, yung shocking na movie na sobrang hindi ko makalimutan, na hindi ko din siya mapanood ulit. Para siyang, yung concept niya is parang hereditary in the form of, I think, nung binabasa ko to feeling ko, since this is sort of like a family thing na sobrang weird nung lola niya at yung mga barkada nga, I think, matagal na nilang plinano for him to be part of this thing na siya yung sasapian or something. Ayoko ikwento ng buo Basta, read this. Read this. Hindi siya talaga nakakatakot. It's just spooky because of the Latin. Pero I'm telling you now, it's nothing. The Latin is nothing. I'm telling you now, it's just for spooks. Okay? You don't need to be scared of it. So, wag ka matakot dito sa librong to, okay? Matakot ka lang dito. Nandyan sa likod. This is Pop Fiction's Third Loves the Charm. This is by Yourstrulytrina. Here's the thing. So, sobrang ganda nitong libro na to. Minessage ko yung author. This is not sci-fi. This is actually a fantasy fiction. That's it. If you're expecting na dahil tukol siya sa mga time loops, timeline, mga ganyan, alternate time, no, it's not. Don't expect time paradoxes to make sense kasi wala tong sense. In terms of sci-fi this science fiction run out the window. Prior to the breakup, madami nang nangyari sa buhay nitong si Avery. By the way, I know na nakalagay dito sa likod nitong book na to na SPG, Strong Parental Guidance, pero it wasn't explicitly said what was the mature content here, so I will tell you, there's a mention of SA dito sa story na to. Ito nga ay mentioning depression, suicide, and yun nga, SA, which is sexual assault. So, yun yung nangyari sa kanya during the first time around. At least dun sa perspective nitong si Avery. But, as we read the story, ito yung nagustuhan ko actually dito sa story na to. We were first led to believe that Avery, this girl right here, she is our main character. She's not. The main character for the story is actually this guy, Leon. Leon Colton is one of the best male MCs I have ever read in the history of my career. And I say that with huge pride that this story, this book, Doon, isasama ko siya doon sa mga favorite books ko kasi deserve niya. So, ganito kasi yan. Si Leon, si Leon kasi, ano siya, he is so Zane-coded. Ngayon, kung naglalaro ka ng Love and Deep Space, kung isa kang Love and Deep Space girly, katulad ni Ate Carla, you'll know what I mean. I'm telling you, kung gusto nyo ng mga hot guys na lahat gagawin for the MC, maglaro kayo ng Love and Deep Space. And maiintindihan nyo why I said Leon is Zayn. He also jumped timelines. Actually, it's more of a time loop. Tapos itong si Leon, he's always there for Avery. Sobrang siya talaga yung action speaks louder than words kasi you can tell someone how much you love them. You can declare to the world that, oh, wherever you are, I shall be there. Siya hindi. Imagine, paulit-ulit, ang dami na nangyari. Ang dami niyang na-witness. Ang dami niyang hinanakit na nangyari sa kanya. Paulit-ulit, might I add. Pero kahit anong mangyari, he will always save the girl. Ang sakit! That's the kind of deep love everyone deserves. At saka ito talaga yung, if he wants to, he will. Kasi, ang dami niyang pwedeng gawin sa buhay niya. Imagine, ang dami niyang time. Yun yung exactly yung meron siya eh. Ang dami niyang time sa kamay niya, pero all of that he used on her. Ay, naku! So, ito yung mga books na nabasa ko. Pero, here's the thing. Meron pa akong mga gustong basahin. I did promise na babasahin ko nga itong Librong Itim for November. Gagawin natin yan. Huwag kayong mag-alala. So, iisa-isahin natin itong mga to. Ganito na lang. Mamimili na lang ako ng mga stories siguro na ipapublish ko for the YouTube video. I mean, when I say publish, yung mga babasahin ko for the YouTube video, para naman, mahikayat pa rin kita na magbasa. It's November. And malapit na ang 11/11. So, baka naman, gusto mo akong sabayan habang binabasa ko yung volume 11, 12, and 13, and 14. So, ayan. Sabayan mo ako Bumili ka. Awayin kita. Joke lang. I am going to start reading itong libro ni CJ Rioboca. Ewan ko, na-excite ako dito sa librong to. Kasi the way it was marketed, nung binuksan ko to, I'm like, yes, CJ! It is now your moment! Pero gagawa tayo ng sarili niyang book review kasi feeling ko maganda yung story. Ewan ko, I don't know why. Pero kapag mga ganun yung mga marketing, mga ganun yung datingan, parang it just feels that way. Eto, this is Rea Reyes, Devil's Heir. This is book 1. At yan, bumabagsak na nga yung mga freebies ko. Plano ko siyang basahin. Kung hindi ito aabot ng itong November, I think isasabay ko to sa reading ko ng December. Yeah, pero definitely hindi ko na to papaabutin ng 2025. Huwag kayong mag-alala. Ay, ito pa pala. Meron pa pala akong gusto sanang idagdag. Hopefully, mabasa ko sila. Kung hindi aabot din ng itong November, then itatawid ko to ng December. Basta kasama to sa mga reading list ko. I am going to go back and read and actually finish reading itong mga books ni Tina Lata. We know her as Blue Maiden on Wattpad. Nakikita ba? Pero ayan, meron na akong mga tabs dito kasi nasimulan ko na to before. Pero nag-stop lang ako kasi nga naging busy ako. Pero ngayon, babasahin ko na to. Sisimulan ko to dito at ito. Let's see kung matatapos ko sila by November kasi truth be told, ang dami ko talagang binabasa. Meron akong mga books na binabasa for me, for personal, for leisure. Meron akong mga manuscript. Anyway, ayun lang. Mahaba na tong video. Bye!